Hey guys, we're now today going to be looking at, or we're going to be beginning the topic of functions and logarithms. The first idea that we need to sort of get a grasp on is this idea of what a function is. Now, I've previously written things like f of x is equal to x squared, and this operates this is pretty much the same way as y squared. So, for most cases, f of x, or the function of x, is the same as y. So that's just something that we need to clear up. Now, when we're testing to see whether something is whether a graph is a function, we can do it quite easily using something called the vertical line. The vertical line test. All right, so it goes a bit like this. We get a line and we draw it along. Sorry, that's the horizontal line test. The vertical line test goes a bit like this. If you draw a vertical line, and if you can pass it through here without it touching, or with it only touching the graph once, that means it's a function. If I move my line over to here, you can see at this point it could be considered a function, but when it passes through here and there are two different values, it's no longer a function. In the same way of C, at the vertical line test again, you draw your line. If it can cut the axis twice, it is no longer a function. Now, you might be wondering, why is this important? Well, I think the easiest way to explain what this means is by going through and thinking about it as independent and dependent variables. Now, usually the independent variable is x, the dependent variable is y. Let's say for this instance, the dependent variable was time. So let's say that this is 9 a.m., 10, 11, 12, 12 midday, 1, 2, 3, 3 p.m. And let's say that we have a measure of the rainfall. In the morning, it was very rainy, then it came to nothing, and then it was very rainy again in the afternoon. So, as far as we are concerned, if I go and grab my vertical line, as far as time is concerned, there should only be one value for the amount of rain. So as I'm drawing this along, the independent value here is put in and gets only one result out. If we go up to B, we have an independent value x, we put that in, and there are actually two possible values. And that is what makes it not a function. So once again, I'd like you to think about the the independent, as being the input value, and that's pretty much always x, or the vertical axis, and the dependent here to be considered more of the output. So, for every input, there should only be one output. Notice, guys, if I was to draw another line, draw it crossways, yes, it cuts crossways when we're going a horizontal line. But that's okay, because we can have multiple values for y, or multiple values of x for y. For instance, let's say this value of y over here is 20 millimeters, or let's say it's 3 millimeters a minute. It's okay to have it for different times. However, if I was to have a second line like this, without any explanation as to what we got, we would have a problem. If I put in the independent variable for 9 a.m., I'd get two dependent or output values, and that's just not right. and it would cease to be a function.